Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 109, and today we're going to be doing battle on the Chief Nakotak timeline. And so, this is an interesting deck. We actually came across this in our Gauntlet battles over the past few days, and I was really kind of bamboozled by seeing the Concurrent Timelines deck show up, but they were playing with Bandle City instead of playing Freylord. What you typically see with these decks is they play Trundle, and then Trundle generates the iceberg. The iceberg comes down as an 8 cost unit. That concurrent timelines into something really strong and useful. And then you get your 8 mana back, right? That's just kind of the big combo coming out of the timelines deck, in addition to just being this really value heavy, value centric kind of thing, to where you play the timelines and then you drop a boom baboon. The baboon puts the flame chompers in your hand, and then he upgrades into a better unit. And then further down the chain, you say play a sump dredger. The dredger upgrades, you discard the flame chompers, and then you end up having units like aloof travelers, which are pretty heavily understated, which then get to upgrade into higher value units after getting their big ability on the board. That's the kind of like general idea that you see out of the timelines decks, but we do get access to the Chief Nakotak now, right? I've been really looking for ways to try and get him into a deck. He did just catch this upgrade with the 310 patch, from where he's changed from a 3/3 to a 2/4. Makes him much more defensively oriented, now able to get into combat with 3/2 units and survive. And then it also grants impact now. And so you get the opportunities for this kind of like growing basis to your units, right? I never felt like just having Chief Nakotak on his own was enough to really warrant playing the transform themes. If he's just going to pass out like a +3/+3 across the game against some like bad transform units, it's not really that great. But if we're at the space now where we're just, say, simply playing a Zonite Urchin, upgrading it into, say, like a random 2/2, then it gets +1/+1 impact from the Chief, then we did just manage to pick up 3 stats and a keyword, which isn't that bad of a deal when you're doing it across every turn of the game. And so here, again, we're looking to take advantage of both the timelines and the Chief. The big iceberg style payoff that we have is up here in the expensive land. We have Risu the Silent Storm to generate the 7/3 impacts, Submersible, which just draws a card, and then Albus Pharaohs, which in turn tries to draw Jace. And so we have a lot of, very similar kind of ideals. We just aren't playing Freylord here today. We're playing Bandle City, and we're looking to take advantage of the Chief and kind of combo him together with the timelines. And so there's kind of a two-piece struggle here today. We have the big value generation kind of engines, and then the concurrent timelines to hopefully help all of that pop off. Now, one last thing I want to say before we jump into the games. You do have to kind of watch yourself with the Chief and the timelines. If you want to play a turn 1 concurrent timelines, then when you play the Chief on turn 3, he's just going to transform into something else, right? You're going to completely miss out on that ability. And so if you do have this combo draw to where you have both the timelines and the Chief, you're probably going to want to wait until the 3rd turn before you play your timeline. So you can play the Chief, and then you can follow up with the spell itself. Otherwise, you're going to have to try and say wait till like turn 4 or turn 5, so you can play a unit before the Chief, miss out on the upgrades, and then play him after the fact, since he's your 2nd unit of the turn. And so you do have to be a little bit careful if you're looking to get advantage out of both of the cards, but it's not that challenging to navigate, and sometimes you just play him anyways as a means to getting a better unit on the board. But this is it. This is what we're doing battle with today, getting those transformers online. We're going to be jumping into the normals. I don't view this as being a particularly competitive deck. I feel like we've really hammered home a lot of theory and a lot of competitive stuff over the past 2 or 3 videos, and so we're going to have a chill stream, as the kids call it, right? We'll say something slaps, and then we'll say chill. The fellow kids out there know exactly what I'm talking about. They say, "Oh shit, old man Bust is using Gen Z words, Zoomer words coming out of him." That's when you know it's not cool anymore, right? The old people are using your words. But all right, not a bad start. I'm usually pretty happy to just hard mulligan our hand to try and find concurrent timelines. And so we've had it in our opener, so we're good in those terms. With the Conchologist hitting here, everything looking good. It's kind of tempting to pick up a Soothsayer just to have the additional stats, but this was a pretty high impact timeline's turn to where we get both the bouncing bomb and we get the manifest of the spell. Here, opponent's going to have to play something. I was going to give them a chance to spend a little bit more mana before we tried to blow things up. And then it looks like we can just take down the 3-2. I was hoping to get a better shot at this Forge Chief, but kind of is what it is at this point. We do have a free attack here, I guess, given that he's already capped out on spell mana. If he wants an additional spell mana, this combat isn't going to do it. All right, not bad, not bad. He goes aloof. I'm going to go aloof too. Rip Albus Pharos. I bet we're both surprisingly playing him. You just concede? What'd we make him discard? Oh, the discard was good enough for the concession, huh? Hey, go us. Go us. GG. A new Chief Nanotech had it in him. Okay, a little bit of easy karma. Again, we didn't pick up a concurrent timelines. Let's just hard mulligan everything out. There we go. No units to go along with it, but that's okay. The spell is the important thing to find. Zonite Urchin ready to party now. Feels dirty kind of playing concurrent timelines. I've complained about this card quite a bit. I don't like that it makes you sit around and just make all of these decisions turn after turn. It really kind of slows down the pacing of the game. But, is what it is. It's okay if we do it, right? Just it's when other people do it, it's annoying. All right, wasn't the greatest upgrade here. I'm going to go with the Bark Beast since it can potentially grow into something reasonable. Then the other choices weren't particularly strong. Right, no upgrades for the next couple turns. A little unfortunate. We'll get our Pulsefire Caitlyn on the board. She's always ready for battle, though. Maybe get some values through the Dragonling and such. Okay. Bringing the heat onto Caitlyn. Alright. I don't think you're long for this world, Caitlyn. Curious if we'll get to attack with our Bark Beast this combat. I want to see how much mana they spend here. Like, this isn't a unreasonable place for him to just be dropping Concussive Palms onto our Gnar, but I was going to say, if he just, like, banks his mana, I think there's, like, a pretty reasonable chance our Bark Beast just gets in for damage. And then if he doesn't have the answer to Caitlyn, then fine. You know, if we lose out on the Bark Beast to a point of damage on the Eye of the Dragon, kind of whatever. All right. Our Gnar flips, though. We get the hard-hitting plays this turn where we drop our we drop our Risu and then get to pick up the Storm Cloud and another 5/5 unit. Pretty cool stuff. What you got for us, game? Something big. Verkuren Bruiser, he's probably our guy. I saw the shield breaker and I was like, this is a pretty reasonable time to pick up a shield breaker. Like, he's usually doesn't get too much time in the sun, but you know, getting a 6/5 fearsome and a 7/3 impact for 5 mana is not that bad. I'll take my collection of 21 stats for 5 mana. Interesting. He goes for the other fleeting spell generator. It should be pretty tough to both Mystic Shot and play your Archivist spell this turn. Discards the Tellstones. I wonder what he was digging for there, or if he was just trying to pick up a 3/3 unit to put in front of our now 3 health units. Interesting. Right, these spells not that great. Just going to go with the Poison Dart for the interactivity. I could see a world where you want to pick up a Purple Berry Shake just to kind of heal our units a little bit, but I don't quite think that's where we need to be. And here, Young Witch isn't going to be that great in the face of Ezreal. We'll just pick up the Arena Bookie. Maybe get some usage out of him. Is that the one we want? I don't think so. I think it should probably look like this. It's like he's going to want to like Homecoming or Concussive Palm or something this turn to try and protect his Ezreal. Oh, cool. Just that's a small one. It's like thinking back on it now, I thought that our Young Witch was just going to like run into Ezreal. We probably should have picked up the Young Witch to throw down since we were going to hook the Ezreal out of combat. Alright, make a little tough Gnar. I'm okay with that. Here, we're going to discard our lowest cost card. It would be nice to have our discard be the Flame Chompers. I don't think that's going to be super likely, though. What if we just want to start sending Burn to face? Well, discarding the timelines is fine. I'll throw a Poison Dart to face, but... Alright. I'm still doing it. The dart's coming in, bro. maybe we dart a little protector bro instead. We're pretty far away from lethal. Okay, we'll just clear out our board a little bit. We're going to drop an Albus Pharaohs this turn, and so we might as well throw away 1 unit. While I'm attacking, your spells and skills deal 1 additional damage. It's not quite where we're at. This is not the greatest hits. The Siren is kind of interesting in that it has Scout, but not the best of 7 drops. He doesn't know we don't have that massive burn package to go along with the Siren, though. There's no mistaking the Siren. Her broad, pearly sails and polished woodwork leave her as sleek and decorated as the captain at her helm. Touching. Alright, he played something. Looks like he killed a unit. Alright. Good job. Alright, the Aloof, not as amazing either. I'm going to think I just go with the Abyssal Guard. Pick up the Fearsome unit. We're going to play a spell this turn. We can get some usages out of it. Goodbye, Karma. Alright, so we'll get our scout attack in. I assume he is just going to start like throwing dragons in front of it, but then we should also kind of get an opportunity. I want to stun one of these dragonlings. I thought we were going to get to do it in the middle of combat, or in that Siren combat, but it didn't quite come together that way. that even worthwhile? Yeah, it doesn't even seem that amazing. Okay.
Ready yourself.
Need just like a little bit more power. Of course. It's not like that horrible against us right now. We have a lot of units that survive the Hextech Crystal, but why not hit it just immediately? Let's get all the transforms.
I think we have something on that case.
I fight for a brighter tomorrow.
Alright, let's see how things start. This is kind of a meh turn. And that if we want to get the chief down, we have to play some other units and stuff. It's not quite coming together how one would want, but it's not bad there. Kato the arm? Get behind Kato. Monster. Monster, right? He gets the submersible bonus. He's the one that needs the overwhelm right now. Alright, how much dumb karma stuff are we going to have to deal with? Let's see, he gets one Dragonling. I think we just have to open attack. We can't get overly clever out of this one. So, Gnar already has Overwhelm. I'm looking to get a hook here with the Tail of the Dragon since that's going to protect most of our units. Do something like this. And we have a couple of Wallops if we need to. We have a Mystic Shot if we need to. Mystic Shot will deal 3 damage in combat if that's what we're trying to send out.
What's the motive?
Oh, Crystal's going to double up because of the karma? Fuck. It's kind of savage. What's he even targeting? Is he hitting our Jace with the Mystic Shots? No, the Mystic Shots are going on Kato the arm. Oh, then we lose our Jace because of the crystals. Alright. See where this gets us. We just have to build up something to try and take this karma down. If he has the Twin Disciplines or something here, then we're pretty done for. But that's the joy of playing against Hexite Crystals, right? There's like literally no cards in his deck that would be able to shut down this combat, except picking up Hexite Crystals, and so pretty cool. Glad to see it get hit off one predict. Fucking dumb card. Card. It's just like as we play so much decks like Scouts, and then as you get into tournament metas and you have to play against stuff like Echo Zillion quite a bit, and you go, cool, here's what this game comes down to. They hit the crystal, or they hit the cat on the first turn. If they predict into the crystal within like the first 2 or 3 predicts, then they just win the game. And then if they don't hit the crystal until later in the game, or if at all, then they just lose. Makes for really compelling gameplay. I want to give whoever designed that card a serious high five. You did a great job at work that day. It's fucking dumbest card. Anywho, we'll let the salt flow over us. Move on. So what do we have here? Victor Timo with Bilgewater inside. Okay. Not exactly sure what's going to be coming at us, but I feel prepared. I'm ready. We'll just go ahead and Mystic Shot. He's out of mana. Typically, we'd wait till the Teemo gets into combat. You don't want to run into these spots to where you Mystic Shot their Teemo and they say, LOL, I have another one in my hand. So you try to take him down in combat, but with our opponent spent out of mana, we don't have to worry about it too much. Alright, we'll slow our roll a little bit, pick up the value play in the Flame Chomper. We're going to be the control deck against this Teemo thing, and so I'm not in a real hurry to try and get these aggressive Sump Dredgery-based units on the board. This is all looking pretty fine. Okay, I'd like to play Get Excited this turn. We'll have to see how the cards break down in terms of what he plays. Alright, we're fairly safe. We can discard the Flame Chomper first. Still looking to just get excited before he's able to start loading us up with Puff Caps. Alright, and then we can try and make a Jace attack onto Victor. I don't really care if Jace dies. We aren't a Jace deck. We're really just playing Jace because we have Albus Pharaohs, and we want a way to just draw the card off of Albus.
Nothing beats field testing.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk.
Let's get started.
Okay. I'm definitely happy if we get the free attack into Jace. Or the free attack into Victor. He doesn't play the Hex Core upgrade to get a bonus. Okay. I was worried about Make It Rains, given that he just decided to not interact with our Boom Baboon, but that was like the worst one 2022. That's what we get for having to play against the Hexite Crystal in the previous game. the luck balances itself out, and we get the real smash of a Make It Rain this game. Okay. Got a Conchologist. I think we'll just pick up the Pokey Stick. We can like technically kill Teemos at this point. We're above 15, but I like having the ways to try and pop Teemo if it turns up. All right, the timelines are here. Whoa, that was big. True Shot Barrage. Okay. Don't see that one every day. It's interesting with True Shot Barrage. It was deemed too good for Expedition there for a while. They actually took it out of the Expedition archetypes. It was like really awkward that most of the champions got to kind of showcase their kit, but Ezreal did not get to. He had his cards removed. So with that collection, I wanted to be sure that we could deal a point of damage this turn. And so between the Legion Grenadier, the Gnar attack, and now the Poison Dart in hand, if he goes ham with the blocks, then we're pretty safe. All right. I'm gonna pass. The only card we're actually worried about now is Teemo, and so if he plays Teemo, we can hit him with a Poison Dart and then follow up with a Pokey Stick. I think we're looking pretty good this game. Interesting. Give an ally elusive. It's not that bad, but the Battlecaster is going to give us the most raw stats next turn, and it's pretty good with all these Flame Chompers that we have. Uh-oh. Here comes the card draw. We are going to have to try and end this one fast. We played 10 cards. We up to 10 now. It's kind of nice to play the Submersible with the bonus. Well, we're going to draw a card either way, right? Have we played Pokey Stick this game? My cards. Well, it's hard. It's tough to tell off these trackers with generated cards, but I don't think we've played a Pokey Stick. Again, it's kind of scary to be drawing all these extra cards, but I'd like to just get the big elusive submersible down this turn and not have to deal with losing out on our elusives. So it's like if we get to open with the submersible, we can hit for 5 with Gnar, 5 with it. We have the 1 attack coming in with the Grenadier, or the 4 attack with the Grenadier. We can hook down his other 2 units out of combat. Whew, we might be okay. We're only at like a little over a damage turn. It shouldn't be too scary drawing these 2 cards. Did you give up on it? Did the IR serious cat drop his phone in the toilet? It happens. Feel bad for my kitties. It's so fucking hot out here in Kansas City. I never noticed it with like one of my cats in the past. Like she's never done this before, but now that it's like we have a basement and it gets like super hot, like we're supposed to get up to like 110 heat index this week. She just goes and like chills out in the basement now that she's able to get down there, and it's like just during the daytime when it's fucking hotter than balls, she just goes and chills out in the basement. It's so weird. We were like getting worried. Like that's where we're starting to try and move the litter box. Like I cut a hole in the wall so that we could put like a kitty tunnel into the basement so that we could move our litter boxes down there. And we were kind of afraid that she was getting down there and just getting stuck. Like that she got down there and then just didn't know how to get back out. But no, she just likes to hang out. It's nice and cool down there. There's not a lot of sunlight. I'm sure there's just like bugs running around. It's a dream place for a long-haired kitty. She's the one that doesn't hang out during our videos, so she's probably just busy in the basement. All right, well, it seems like the IR serious cat is no longer here, but we're gonna have to play this out a little bit. Let's get our attack in. Here's what I was considering for the previous turn. You can do things like this. Get some damages in. We're coming in for 17. I was initially thinking of, say, hooking the Puffcat Peddler with our Grenadier, and then just sending in the 2 damage from the Battlecaster. But either way, it would leave us a little bit short of lethal if he had some kind of interactivity to shut down 2 cards. But I think we'll be okay. They don't seem to be here. The victory seems to be ours. We're moving on. So, hope you all had a wonderful 4th of July out there. Those of you outside of America, just another day at the office. For those of you in America, you get to eat some barbecue and watch some fireworks. It's pretty nice. It used to be like one of my favorite holidays in that you would basically just have a cookout. You'd sit around and grill up a bunch of food and drink beers and then shoot off fireworks. It's not a bad day, but now that it's like I wake up so early in the morning just to go to the gym and stuff, it's usually daylight when I'm going to bed, and so I was thinking in my head if I was gonna be able to like see the fireworks, and it was like, nah, they aren't shooting these bitches off at 9 o'clock at night. You gotta wait till like 9:30 or 10 until the sun goes down. And so like there was that piece to it, and then it's fucking hot out here. It was like I just didn't get hype. I grilled up a bunch of food. I did the work that has to be done, but I didn't go full America this year. All right. Well, the dude's coming at us with some Draven Darius. This is the space I'm kind of interested in with the Chief Nanotech, right? He can come down, block a Legion rearguard, and then block another one a little bit into the future, but it's going to be too slow on this board. So let's discard our Flame Chompers, take down the Overwhelm unit. Going to actually come in and just block the rearguard as well. He's going full face. We just need to prevent damage where we can. So this should be a space. We'll see if we pick up like a 2-drop. That might alter how we go about these. No, it doesn't. We can play the Challenger Jace and try to get a 2-for-1 this turn. little bit unfortunate he has the overwhelm unit, but it is what it is. Now, Jace can't block. Sad day.
Me, miss? Not by a long shot.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we're realistically just missing out on a single point of damage. I mean, that's not to say that that's irrelevant. That damage can be quite important, but he was going to get overwhelmed this turn. We need to start with the Dredger first. Let's see if we pick up anything interesting. We didn't. Darius. Ugh. I wonder if we're just going to get popped with Decimate next turn. It's always odd to see the people come out and just open with Darius. We didn't have anything we could do about it here, but you usually don't want your opponent taking any kind of action when you have Darius. You usually come down and try and make big open attacks with him. So let's play the Aloof and see if we pick up an interesting unit. We did discard his Reckoner. That's actually quite strong. He gets a Darius flip, but we only fall to 8. Alright. Yeah, he's still got so many cards in hand. Discarding Albus, he's just too slow. Oh, shit. Apprehend. No. No. Again, can't let that shit happen. Alright, feel a little bit safer with the additional Mystic Shot coming in. I think we want to start with an Aloof. These, like, if we get him to discard Darius, that's huge. And then if he's also, he lost to Darius. And say if he's discarding Decimates, that's pretty good for us as well. It's like I kind of want to hang on to Risu at this point. Just if we do draw the timelines, it's so important. Oh man, we should have completely just attacked with everything here. We probably just punted this one. It was like I was so in this mindset that we need to save these burn spells to be defensive, and we could have completely taken him down to 5 and then just blown him up with the burn spells. That was not smart. I think we're still in like an okay-ish space, but ugh. All right. See if we can't salvage our day. Should we have decimated that? Or are we going to get killed by Decimate now? Well, he dropped below 5 mana. That's at least a bonus. Given how poorly we've played this one, I don't really feel like we deserve a win here, but I think we might have pulled this one off.
I've got the reins.
We might have done it. All right, yeah, that was definitely sloppy. It's like I really tunnel visioned in on that one as to where it's like, okay, well, he's got all these overwhelms. We have to prevent some of this overwhelm with the burn damage, and then it just completely slipped my mind that we could just attack with all of our units and probably take him to 5. So, whoops. Okay, let that one past us. A little bit of action Sivir now. Sure, you all know what we're doing. Gonna take the full mulligan, but do note this was action Sivir with Targon. This isn't action Sivir with Demacia. Not real sure what we're gonna be seeing come out of this. I do know we've seen this quite a bit. We're playing one copy of Jace, and we've drawn him in 3 of our games. Like, this is so fucking annoying. It's like the literal only reason we're playing Jace today is because we're playing this Albus Pharos. It's pretty annoying to continue to draw him over and over again. Do you all know who the unluckiest person in the world is? You're looking at him. It's FTP Bust. You got it. No one on the planet has better luck or worse luck than me.
Astounding curiosities lie ahead. To the world below.
All right, we've kind of circled back nicely into this collection of bros that can discard cards. So that's kind of nice. So what's going to happen here? He's probably just going to hook the Conchologist with Sivir. Let's lead in with Boom Baboon. As a means to shut down the Merciless Hunter. He probably just doesn't attack with it now, but that's fine.
Anything else?
Need one of those timelines.
Nothing beats field testing.
Targon is so big.
What up, Chip? I was curious if Chip was going to make an appearance, given that he is playing Targon here. Looks like it's the case.
I know the mountain.
Nice.
I know what I'm worth.
Well, it was nice for a moment. And then the other Sivir shows up.
As usual.
Alright, well, we gotta do some digging. We gotta find something useful here. Just playing Risu or playing Chief Nakotak isn't enough to actually do anything.
I do not break rules, I bend them slightly.
Sivir is up to 8 damage away, so we can safely attack. Oh, we don't have an attack. It's really his attack token? Oh, shit. Alright. Thought it was our attack token. Well, the same thing still applies. We can still safely hit with these 2 units. He's not going to have enough to level up. We'll have to wait until next turn to flip her. Okay.
The sub rock got me good.
Not what we were looking for. That was not it. As long as he doesn't have a way to like pass out Overwhelm, it's not that big of a deal in terms of his board. Just the big deal here is we aren't doing shit without our concurrent timelines. I think we're still safe to pass. Like, if she doesn't have Overwhelm and we can just come out and block for a bit, you know, if we just give up 3 Flame Chompers on the turn, that's not horrible. It's the Overwhelm is what matters.
Talk is worthless. We are what we do.
Okay, so we die to Absolver now.
Finders keepers, in and out.
Okay. Sure. GG. Oh shit, he did that wrong, didn't he? We're still dead, but he didn't. He didn't do it well enough to give Overwhelm everywhere. He probably should have put that Sandstone Charger on the left. I think he probably should have put the Bruiser on the right so that it wouldn't be eating at damage like this, but it's still just way too much coming at us. Okay, GG. Man, I don't get how people play this deck in tournaments or play this seriously on the ladder. It's just like, it's such a high roll if you hit the timelines. That's the way I always felt when we were playing against this deck. It was like, oh, you played a timelines on the first turn? Good job, you'll probably win this game. And then if they didn't hit it, you're just like, oh, I guess we lose today. That was fun and interactive. But here, up against like this ultra aggressive Annie deck, we don't have the means to just hard mulligan for timelines. This matchup is dog shit, and so we have to come out and keep these hands that can take down Annie and take down some of his earlier plays, or he's just going to burn through us way too fast. Oh, well. And then they play the Conservatory, so it's not it's not just the all-out burn deck. It's really weird seeing Jen come out of the deck that's just not here to burn your face. What you got for us? Well, I guess that's a way to get your concurrent timelines. You just have to generate it with your conchologist. Oh, jeez. All right, let's see what we can do now. Of course. Did I like not tell you all who the unluckiest person on the planet was? The cards we've managed to draw this game. We cycle away our 10 cost card with our cycler. Then we immediately draw Flame Chompers, play the Conchologist, generate the timelines, and then immediately draw timelines. Come on. Somebody has to give me a bit of credit as being the actual unluckiest person on the planet. Just a little bit, just a taste. That's all I need. Just a little awareness that I'm as unlucky as it gets. Insane. How much do we even care about Jen? I don't think it's a ton, but it is kind of nice to at least build up a touch of mana here. So let's see how he interacts with this. Like, again, we don't really care about this Jace, but if we can getting to make like a big investment in Jace, that would be kind of nice. Not quite what's happening here. And then we do need to watch ourselves with this Chief Nanotech, right? If we want to get him online, then we need to play like a Flame Chompers first. Okay. So this is the thing I'm like, I was a little worried about, was he's about to pop this Conservatory. And I'm curious if we shouldn't have saved our 2/4 thing to try and keep the Tybalak from coming online. At any rate, Annie's been dealt with. We have our Risu ready to come online. Can't block to the weakest enemy. That is kind of interesting, putting can't block onto Jen when we have this kind of moderately aggressive board. But the Matriarch does give us a 4/5. Well, we're not going to be able to just block Jen, right? He's definitely just going to play Tybalak this turn. And so even with the 4/5, we would just now die to Jen. Okay. Beautiful. We got Savage Reckoner. Okay. Ready for combat. And we're gonna try and target down the oh Jesus. Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting the Chempunk Shredder to come down. But the overwhelm is what I'm worried about here. Jin is still fairly far away from flipping. And so he's not that big of a worry. Savage Reckoner does always have overwhelm now? Oh, he's always had it. Okay, never mind. I'm losing it. When you don't get to sit around and play Expedition all day anymore, you forget about cards like Savage Reckoner. It's tough, man. Okay. Our unit's gonna die anyways. We might as well get the free block in. Jin doesn't deal any damage that way. It's kind of interesting with this Risen Reckoner. We can save him for next turn. I think I want to get the Urchin down now, get the Chief down, and then we can look to drop the Reckoners. He's going to be a nice little flip coming off of our timelines. And I think I'm also... Like, what's our chance of just ending the game next turn? Right? So say we add a Flame Chompers now, we add a Boom Baboon now, and then next turn we add in the Risen Reckoner. Or it's like, do we want the Risen Reckoner to even... I don't think we want to go for value with him. I think we just stop here. And then we can like play the Boom Baboon as our first unit, and then just try and count on this 6 from the Reckoner coming in. Okay. Are we enlightened yet? We're 1 away from being enlightened. That was gonna be pretty sweet. It was gonna be pretty sweet. Right, so now we're here. We'll play the Reckoner. We'll say Jin can't block. What's all this dumb stuff do? 5 to a unit. It's like a lot of stuff just happened. His Jin flips. The trap is going to stun our Flame Chompers. Okay. That's probably enough to shut us down, but... Let's see. Alright, he's still got this Tybalak in hand. This is gonna be scary. Not sure what's coming at us now. Still in a pretty terrible spot, right? We're gonna get blasted by Tybalak. But well, I guess our Mystic will grow, right? We're about to turn him into 7/7. He's only got a handful of cards in hand. Like it is almost impossible to win these games when they play 2 Tybalaks. They just have so much value out of every card in their hand. But maybe we'll get out of this. Probably want to stun this 7/7 before you bring him in. All right.
Both your parents with the toy they made you.
Okay. How bad is this? I still can't tell how bad this is. I mean, he's only got one card. I don't think we're dead here, but he does have... I was gonna say he does have this flipped gen on board. So if we stop 2 with the Poro, then we can just block this other stuff. Okay. Are we really taking 16? Where's all this coming from? 4 from Jin. Oh, he does. We're only preventing 2 here. Okay. Damn. Well, that was kind of on us. It's like, it's very odd to me see this be like how the anti-gen deck comes at you. Like anytime you like look at an anti-gen deck, it's really one of these really burn heavy style decks. And so for it to basically be the anti-Twisted Fate deck, but be playing Gen instead of Twisted Fate cards and Bilgewater cards, that's kind of a beat, right? That's like not something I've ever seen come at us on the ladder or any kind of like any of our research kind of things. And so I still kind of stand by that mulligan. You know, if you load up in the queue and you see anti-Gen coming at you, you can't feel like you're going to... you have to just have in your head that like this guy's gonna be playing the burn deck, and so I still stand by that mulligan. But keeping the double mystic shot with that ridiculous collection of cards we drew in the first few turns was a little bit too much for us to overcome. All right, no timelines again. How do people win with this deck? Oh boy, we drew Jace. What a surprise! What a surprise! Oh man, I don't feel like I'm being ridiculous in these assessments here. That playing literally one copy of Jace. We're on game number 7 now. I feel like we've drawn him 5 times. I don't know. Somebody can correct my math, but number of times with 3 copies of Concurrent Timelines. Number of times we've drawn it, like 2. Oh, it's fucking absurd. All right, we'll have to get over it and get through it. I feel like we have to just get rid of one of these mystic shots. We need some kind of value now. Just spot on, right? Okay. Okay. It's one of those days. It's like the reverse lottery ticket day, right? I'm never sure, like, when your opponent has this just, like, actual insane run of luck, if you should suggest that they go buy lottery tickets just because it's been the luckiest day of their life, or if they should just stay away because they've already spent all their luck for the day. And I feel like that's the universe we're living in now, is not entirely sure how we need to approach it, but something needs to be done. All right,
Now's not a good time.
let's just take this block. Like if he has a he's gonna have a way to deal damage to the face and flip the Gnar any way that happens this turn, right? The way that we have downside here is if he has the Pokey Stick to take down Jace. That is a bit unfortunate, but I think the one that actually scares me more is the Troll Chant, right? What we set that up is to be pretty reasonable against Troll Chant, and then he had the other one, kind of is what it is, but I think the Troll Chant is actually the scarier card there.
Well, what have we here?
Here's what's going to happen. Is we're going to get Troll Chanted on this turn, right? We can attack with Caitlyn, and then he he blocks with Gnar, and we play the Mystic Shot. No, we're not going that route. We'll try to attack here. My intent is to hook Gnar with the Flame Chompers, and then see if we can't survive out that way. We're good against a Troll Chant now, so if he wants to block our Caitlyn with the Tusk Speaker and play Troll Chant, we can still Mystic Shot through. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop the Flame Chompers. We're building up to a Treasured Trash turn. The only way I can ever imagine us winning this game at this point is if we get to turn 7 and then we drop a Treasured Trash. And so I want to empty out our hand as much as we can to just maximize our chances of popping off with it. Okay, so we have a double burn spell onto Gnar. Is that the way we ever go about it? We're back at this weird spot to where opponent is at 9, and like this feels like we have a decent shot of just ending the game if we save our burn. So this only takes us down to 6. We can drop both burn spells, still be fully banked for next turn, and then just hope, you know, hope an Overwhelm turns up or whatever. We just have to have something go right here. Given the way our games have gone today, what do you think the average cost of the spells we hit on Treasured Trash is going to be? I'm going to say something around like 2. Average of 2. We'll see if we can't put together a mathematic real quick, but I bet it's super fucking low. We did everything we could to maximize this Treasured Trash. Let's see how low it goes. Like doing the limbo, right? Do people still do the limbo? Do the kids know what the limbo is these days? You head down to the roller skating rink and do the limbo. So we did hit a somewhat expensive Zerzerath. That's not going to do anything. We hit a Sheriff Lariat Rose. I don't think she's going to do anything. What's this? If you would get a mana gem, instead refill your mana. When you play a spell, create a random spell in hand that costs 3 or less. Maybe that'll do something for next turn. Zerzerath isn't enough. Can we win with Mighty Poro plus Impact? Mighty Poro can overwhelm the Tusk Speaker for 2. And then we had... Oh, we're going to be 1 short. I was counting in the wallop. I need the turn to kind of roll back around for us for a moment. But we can drop the Mighty Poro. He's a piece of how we're going to win this game. See, here's where... Oh no, that's we don't need the Sheriff, right? We don't need the Sheriff. So he's not playing any cards, which is scary as fuck. I don't think that this plan is actually going to work, but I don't know. We came up with a way to deal 4 damage, and that's what we were really hoping for. Yeah, so we lose the impact now. Is what it is. We can take him to 1, and then we still have a shot to draw one of our burn spells. You don't deal impact damage, though, if you have 0 attack. But I do think it's also fairly safe to say he probably had the Troll Chant the entire game. And so I still feel like a little bit better about that Gnar turn, to where we put our 4/4 in front of his 3/3 and got pokey-sticked. If we had rearranged that a little bit differently, I think we would have just got annihilated by Troll Chant. And so I think it's okay. What you got for us, game? It's going to be clever. Give us another chance at a draw. Nope. All right. GG. Okay, man, this has been one of those days. I am ready for the final battle to be over. It's just draining playing these games. I'm still having fun, but man, if I was trying to like grind at ladder or do well at something, this would just be a real soul crusher of a day. All right, let's see if something cool happens against Yuumi Pantheon here. The Bandle City version, not the Demacia. Oh my god, we drew a concurrent timelines. Let's see if we can do something today. Pretty horrible mulligan around it, but we can pick up something early here. It'll be fine. I'm pretty confident the way that these draws are going to go is we'll probably draw another concurrent timelines next turn, and then on turn 3 we'll probably draw like Jace, and then on turn 4 we'll probably draw something like not a conchologist, a flame chompers. It's just it's the way it is, the way it's been, and the way we're being treated. Okay, didn't draw the timelines. We're on a different timeline now, I guess. This isn't one of the ways that Doctor Strange calculated. He sat around, did the millions upon millions of finger maths to find the single snap encounter. It's not the way it worked. Don't think I'm really interested in any of these. It's tempting to pick up the Sumpworks maps, but we'll just go with the card draw here, and then I'll take the 3 attack unit to contest the White Flame. You bringing it? You coming in? No? Alright. This is one of these spots where I think I would like to see him just pass, you know? Didn't quite come together. But if he's gonna like save all of his mana for combat tricks, and then we get into combat, I think it feels decent if we just get a pass there. Yuumi was a big shutdown for that, but one step at a time. I'm not like ultra worried about these White Flames just yet. Like when he's not playing Demacia, you don't have Cataclysms and you don't have like rallies. It's not as scary with the White Flame, but I think we're getting at least built up to something here. Interesting. Okay. Well, I would like to have a little bit better board before we drop the Submersible. It is nice to get that +4 bonus onto whatever you flip this into. But with our just burn heavy hand here, I don't think that's going to be I don't think that's going to be an outcome. I don't think we'll have enough time. Of course, we draw Jace. Of course. Ooh. Rhyme Tusk Shaman. Okay. Deal with that, Pantheon. That's the world you're living in now. Ew. Give some bonus attack to this Pantheon to cancel out the Papercraft. Oh, got the bonus attack from Yuumi. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, let's see how heavily we can get committed into this Pantheon. Like, he's going to have at least one card here. I'm hoping that our Mystic Shot is enough. We might have to just pivot out of this attack and switch to using the Wallop, but we are still at least getting a pretty fresh amount of damage onto him. Looks like this will only take him to 3, so we need to switch to the Wallop. And I think that feels pretty okay. We can circle back to trying to take him down with Mystic Shot, and then our actual units start to be a little bit scarier as well. Still feels like we're in a fairly terrible spot, though. It seems like this should just feel better. We got our timelines down, we got this Frostbite thing happening, and this game just does not feel good. Yeah, it's so tempting to just pick up the elusive, but it's not going to deal enough damage to be relevant.
Stuff did it.
Totes my goats. Really tempted to just bring in the Mystic shots, but... Okay, maybe this is enough. Oh boy. It's like upon second thought, giving him the gem didn't feel that good, but I don't think it's gonna matter now. This Pantheon's just too big. Okay, GG. Oh, man, what a collection of games! What a collection of games! And so this deck, I mean, I know we aren't playing like the optimal version. Like the adding in the Chief Nanotex isn't really a gigantic upgrade, right, compared to what you get out of Freylord. Just like I should say, like adding these +1/+1s just isn't enough. Like we may find ourselves in a world one day to where there's just like enough transform units to where the Chief is interesting, but I'm not entirely sure where that world is. Right, if we look at the current meta with cards like the guy that gives the bonuses to elites. Like, I don't know if there's just like enough stuff in Demacia for them to not care, but he doesn't get a whole lot of respect. We see cards like the Yordles cards that pass out +1 attack to a lot of things. A lot of those don't see a lot of play. We don't see too much of this Lord Psi ability, as you will. That's what we would call it in Magic in terms of playing things like a Lord of Atlantis that would come down and boost all of your team. It just hasn't really picked up a lot of steam out here in Runeterra, and I'm not sure if that's just because kind of like the Lord effects in Magic happen onto your units that are already in play. That would be just giving, say, +1/+1 to everything, and it also affects your future units to where, say, like Nanotech only affects your future units, or what the deal is. But these abilities don't feel like, quite enough to really push it over the edge. But man, the second piece of this deck is just having to like actually draw the concurrent timelines. Like that, like all business aside with how shitty our draws were today, with like the sequencing being bad and drawing Jace a million times, like we hard mulliganed for concurrent timelines every single game. I think we picked it up in 3 of the 8. And in that last one that we picked it up in, it just wasn't even enough. It was just like, I imagine this is probably just a terrible matchup against Yuumi Pantheon. It's probably a terrible matchup against something like Alawi, but man, it feels so bad when if your card that is like, I mean, I don't know how the math exactly works out, but if you win like 80% of your games when you draw the timeline, and then you win 40% of your games when you don't draw it, and then that takes you up to like the 55% win rate or something, like that feels like horrible when we're actually like drawing it and then still losing out and not having it feel good. And so I'm not sure. Like I know that there's been a few iterations of the timelines deck. Now, it's one thing if you're playing the timelines as a means to pop off, say, like the Dreadway plus, not Captain Farron, whatever that other guy was, the dude that where you would just OTK your opponent with the Dreadway. Like, that's one thing when you don't need it to pop off until like turn 8 or turn 9 or turn 10. And a little bit of that does live with the Trundle iterations of this. Like, it definitely sucks if you aren't upgrading your smaller units, but your big payoff is that Trundle iceberg, right? And so you have some time to do it. But when you're playing decks like this and you really need to be hitting this on like turn 3 or turn 4 at the latest, it sucks so much to just not draw it. And so I don't know. I don't know how people like play this deck and enjoy it. I don't know how this thing has a positive win rate, because it just feels so bad when you don't actually draw the timelines. And so I don't know. Maybe someone else has the answers that I just missed here, but it feels pretty terrible. And so if you want to take this thing into battle, by all means, go for it. I hope this video was enough of a warning sign for you all to just kind of stay away. But I know people play it. My recommendation is just don't. Just stay away. Play something with Decimate in it, man. That feels a lot better. But nonetheless, that is going to do it for us today. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you had a good time watching. I hope you learned how horrible the different timelines can be. And I hope you had a good time along the way. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.